Hey everyone, it's another Andy's free guitar chart videos lesson. Welcome to my YouTube subscribers and my Facebook group friends, and anyone who's found this video, likes this video, subscribe to my channel, Andy's free guitar chart videos, and like and subscribe on the button below. And then in the instructions below the video you'll see the URL put together for the Facebook page where you can view the video in its entirety with short segment breaks and apply for membership to the group. So here I thought we'd run another quick lesson. I don't have much time today. A follow-up of yesterday's lesson, which was 316 and 317, where we're doing the substitutions into the box, that the action box that we're playing. So let's say we're playing in the C box. I'm just going to play it open here. C, and then F shape, and then G shape. Doesn't matter the key. So that would be the action box. This would be the open, the open chords action box. Then you go up to the next shape from C. You go to the A action box, would be A. The fourth of A is D. The fifth of the A shape is the E shape. That kind of thing. And we'd go up to the from the A box we go to the G box, and then we'd have the G shape. Okay, the fourth of G is the C shape, and the fifth of G is the D shape. So we'd have the G action box there, and then from G we go to the E box. Alright, so the root would be E shape. The fourth of the E shape is the A shape, and the fifth would be down here at the C shape. So that defines the entire E box there. And then the D box, we could start that down here. Again, actually, that would be, okay, the D box would start, in this case, it would start right here. So it would be the D box here. BD. The fourth of D is the G shape. The fifth of D is the A shape. Okay, so that's your 5 boxes, your 5 shapes. It doesn't matter what key you're in. I happen to be down tuned, so here's your E, here's down D tuned, and here's down E tuned, down C tuned. So my C is actually an A flat. Okay, so the second of A flat would be B flat, and the D box would start on that B flat up there. So let's look at this. I want to finish yesterday's lesson. So we're kind of finishing yesterday's lesson here. Finishing the coffee. And what we got is chart 318 here, and I just call it major and minor sub patterns for 1-4-5 framework. Now 1-4-5 framework is what we just talked about, the 1, the 4, and the 5 of the 5 cage positions. Okay, just remember that the exception of 1-4-5 is with the C shape. Just remember a root 3-5 triad in the key of C, C, E, G. Okay, and then for the E shape, remember a 3-6 root triad for a second inversion, relative 6 minor in the key of C, E, A, C. Okay, so you've got E shape going to A shape going to C shape, and you'd have C shape going to E shape going to A shape. The others are all 1-4-5. So what we have here, we're going to be looking at the new framework here is up here. We got E root 2 3, C 4 5 6, E 7 root 2, C 3 4 5, G 6 7 root, D 2 3 4, A 5 6 7. These are the 7 modal cages. Okay, but the framework I'm talking about is 1-4-5. Okay, so here's your modal cages. Up here's root 2 3 4, and then D 2 3 4, A 5 6 7, and they're sharing notes like that. And here's the traditional regular cage shaped modal circles here. So starting on a D-shaped C here, we'd have a 5 root 3 or a D-shaped root, whatever it is, it'd be D-shaped. E, G, A, C would be the relative 6. And remember, the relative 6 is always one cage letter advanced. Caged word ends in D and starts caged all over again. C, A, G, E, D. Okay, so let's look at what we're talking about today. It might not be a bad idea just to look at this diagram here, which is from about 316. As you know, we have that modal cage framework I was talking about, and let me just adjust this. We got C, G, D. Actually, we start on the E shape to C to G to D as we go up the strings. Let's say from the E shape, let's talk about the key of F. Here's your F. Okay, so we would go, F would be an E shape. We're going to back down to the 7th. 7 root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 root 2, 3, 4. Here's our B flat. Okay, that would be an A shape B flat. On the D, 2, 3, 4, then we go into the 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, what's the 5th of F? C. So let's find the C here. We'll go 5, we'll go root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the 5th, we got to count as the 5th, not as root. See, I made a mistake there. 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then right back into the E shape again. But we're going to hit the tuning warp, the tuning third, between the B and the G string. Okay, so that's how we go around the regular circle of string shaped fifths with the long patterns. What are the long patterns good for? They're good for playing at the fret nut. Let's say we wanted to put the fret nut on that F, right on that F. Not on the E, but on the F. We could still go root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4. And this would be our G-shaped fourth. Okay, and notice the long pattern started on an E shape, root 2, 3, and E root 2, 3 right there, long. Right there is the E. And then we went from E in the word cage to D. Okay, we start on an E pattern here. We start on an E long pattern here. We're going to end up on the next cage letter, which would be a D shape. And indeed, that fourth we just played, that G-shaped fourth, G is the fourth of what shape? It's the fourth of a D shape. So right there we ended up on a D shape. We end up on the next caged shape up. Okay, and I'll just look at, this is a special case of what we're going to be covering, what we want to play in those string shapes, in those patterns. The E pattern, I'm just listing the first 5 strings. This is the root 3, 5, 6. What's so great about root 3, 5, 6, not 2? Pentatonic's root 2, 3, 5, 6. But root 3, 5, 6, that gives us our major or minor second inversion. So this is just going around the same thing, E, C, G, D, and then into the long patterns with root 3, 5, 6. Okay, so in the E pattern, it's almost like a pentatonic. So let's talk about an E-shaped C. We'd have root 3, 5, 6, root 3, then 5, 6. And then we could go into a long pattern from there. That's actually the E long pattern. Even though this is short here because we have a short S3D,